Okay, this is part 2, the border. So if you are here and you don't have this section made, please go down into the description below and pick up the link where it says part 1 to make the cross, the body of the cross. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put 2 double crochets in this next spot right here. We're going to work a front post double crochet around that chain right there. 2 double crochets in the next chain space. Front post around the next one. Chain or put 2 double crochets in the next chain space. Front post around the next one. 2 double crochets in the next chain space. Now, remember, if you watched the first part, I said, oh, there's 4 parts that are difficult. The ankle's right here, the sash, or the waist cloth, and the crown. So we are now entering the next harder spot, and that's going to be the inside corners. Okay, luckily there's only 4 of them. So we're going to go slow, and we're going to work on those for you. Now, I didn't tuck in any of my tails. I'm going to do it afterwards. A lot of times I will crochet them in as I'm working. But for today, I'm just going to let my tails go, okay? So after we did our 2 double crochets right here, we now reached this point where we have to change angles. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and put a slip stitch right into this chain space right here. Okay? Now we're going to chain 1. And we're going to take our hook out, or take our loop out of the hook, put it where we did our front post stitch right there, put our hook in, grab our loop back up, and grab it. Okay? If you feel that's too tight, do 2 chains right here. Do 1, 2. Then put your hook where you did your front post. Pick up your loop and grab it. Okay? You're going to put a front post right here. And that's going to give us our corner. So what we did was we did 2 double crochets. We put a slip stitch into here. We chained 2, put our hook or in the same stitch as our front post right here. We pulled our loop in, and then we put a front post DC around here. Don't worry, I can show you in the other ones too. But now we are angled correctly to work around this edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 double crochets in each of the chain space, and then a front post around the stitch there. We're going to do that all the way to the end. Doing our last front post. Okay. Now in this corner, we're going to do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just like I said in part 1, if I'm going too fast for you, down below, right around here area, there should be a little cog or gear. If you click onto that, you should be able to see how to change the speed, so you can slow me down, or you can speed me up and down, or you can just pick up the pattern on my Ravelry and Etsy store. Links are down below. It's a $2.99 pattern, same as all my other patterns, nice and affordable for you. So if you don't even read patterns, it does help support me and support this channel. If you're here just to do the border and you haven't checked out, or I mean just to do this pattern, if you haven't checked out any of my other patterns, give me a like, follow me, and subscribe. And hey, you might like me. You could also recommend my patterns to somebody else, and they might like it. Each little positive click, each little comment, each share, each subscription or each following, it helps me out tremendously. And it also helps keep my crochet patterns on the low side. So after all that, let's keep going. So now that we did our 5 double crochets, we're going to put a front post DC around the next one. In this chain space, we're going to put a DC tog. So if you're not familiar with that, we're going to yarn over and act like we're going to be putting a double crochet in there. Yarn over, act like we're putting a double crochet in there. And now we should have 3 on the hook. Yarn over, pull through, and we have a DC tog. We're now going to put a front post DC around the next one. We're going to put 2 double crochets in the next. Front post around the next. 2 double crochets in the next one. A front post in the next. And in this one, we're going to do another one of those DC togs. And put a front post around the next one. I'm going to slightly work over my tail here. And I'm going to put 5 double crochets in this chain space right here. It's 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And yeah, I just did that so that way it's a little easier to tuck in my tail later on. So now I'm going to put a front post around that next stitch there. 2 double crochets in the next. Front post around the next. 2 double crochets. Front post. 2 double crochets. Front post. And 2 double crochets. We are now at the inside corner. So same thing as we did over here. What we're going to do is ignore that tail right there, and we're going to put a slip stitch right in that next chain space. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, take our hook out, and put our hook in the stitch where we made our front post. Grab our hook, our loop, back on our hook, and pull it up like we're making a slip stitch. We're now going to put a front post. Ooh, that tail does not want to cooperate. We're going to put a front post DC around the next stitch. So now this one we're going to be doing, it's going to be a little different right here, because as you can see, it's kind of wonky. It kind of goes like this. And we want it nice and flat, like we have this side and this side and this side. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a weird pattern here, okay? So we're going to put 2 double crochets in the next chain space, if the tail lets me. Put a front post DC around the next, 2 DC in the next one, front post around the next, And now we're going to skip this chain space right here. We're going to put a front post around this one. We're going to put 2 double crochet in this one, 2 double crochet in this one. So 2 and a front post, 2 and a front post. We're now going to skip this chain space and put a front post in, 2 double crochets. I will review this side once we get to the end. Another 2 double crochets, a front post, skip in the chain and a front post, 2 double crochets, and a front post, 2 double crochets, and then a front post. Now we're going to skip this chain space again, put a front post, and now we should have 4 spaces left. So what we're going to do is we're going to, because we have 1 is the corner, and then we have 3 regular ones. So we're going to put 2 double crochets in each one of those. And a front post. Oh my goodness, I keep slipping. And 2 doubles. And a front post. 2 doubles. And a front post. Okay. And as you can see, it kind of flattens that out a little bit, and we don't have it as wonky going right here, okay? So let's do a quick review on that. So we did our 2DC, and we did a slip stitch right into this chain space, and we chained 2, dropped our loop, went into the top of the stitch, picked back up our loop, and then we put our front post DC here, 2DC, front post, 2DC, front post, skipped a chain, front post, 2DC, front post, 2DC, front post, skipped the chain, front post, 2DC, front post, 2DC, front post, skipped the chain, front post, 2DC, front post, 2DC, front post, skipped the chain, front post, 2DC, front post, 2DC, front post, 2DC, front post. Now we're going to work on the bottom edge here. I'm going to turn the page in my pattern. And we're going to work this the same as we did up here. So 5 double crochets in there. We're going to do a front post double crochet, and then a 2DC tog. And a front post. And now we're going to put 2 double crochets in this next chain space. Front post, 2 DCs, and a front post. And in the next one, we're going to work a 2 DC tog. We're going to do a front post. And I'm just going to work over the tail just a little bit in this corner. I'm going to put 5 double crochets. Three, 4, and 5. And just like this side, we're going to work the stitches. So what we're going to look for is we're going to make sure that these sections where I skipped lined up. Okay? So we're going to start off with ignoring our tail right there, putting a front post around it, 2 double crochets, and a front post, 2 double crochets, and a front post, 2 double crochets, and a front post. Now we're going to skip, just like on the other side here, we're going to skip this chain space and we're going to put a front post around the next. 2 double crochets in the next chain space, front post, 2 double crochets, and a front post. And we're going to skip this chain space with a front post in the next stitch, 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets, front post, skipping a chain, doing a front post, 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets, and a front post. Once again, we're going to skip the chain, put in a front post. We're going to put 2 double crochets in the next one, front post, 2 double crochets, and a front post. We're coming to that inner corner. So that last space, we need 2 double crochets. And then we're going to do a little review real quick. The next round, we'll take some of that curl out. As you can see, it's getting a little straighter. So we had our chain 5 in the or 5 DC in the corner. We had our front post, 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets. We're going to skip that chain, front post here, 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets, front post, skipping that chain, front post, 2 double, front post, 2 double, front post, skipping the chain again, front post, 2 double crochet, front post, 2 double crochet, front post, skipping the chain once again, front post, 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets, don't forget your front post there. So now we're back in that pesky little corner. So after we did our 2 double crochets, we're going to slip stitch right around that chain. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to remove our hook, put our hook in that first or the last front post DC we made right at the top. Pick our hook or hoop back up or loop back up and pull it in. Now we're going to put a front post right around that next spot right there. This also gives us a nice clean looking corner. Okay. Now we're going to do our 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets, and a front post. We're going to be working our 5 double crochets in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Front post around the next one. In this next chain space, we're going to work a 2 DC tog. We're going to do a front post, put 2 double crochets in the next chain space, front post, 2 double crochets in the next space, and a front post. In the next chain space, we're gonna do a 2 DC tog. And then work a front post. In this chain space, I'm going to work a little bit over my tail right here, and I'm going to put 5 double crochets in that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to work a front post around the next one. 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets, front post, 2 double crochets, and a front post, back into that pesky corner, so 2 double crochets. We're going to work a slip stitch in this next chain space, chain 2, finding our last front post DC, sticking our hook in the top there in that stitch, pulling our loop up, working a front post stitch in the next one, 2 DC, front post, 2 DC, front post, and then 5 double crochets in that corner. Now a front post, a 2 DC tog, front post, 2 double crochets, front post, 2 doubles, front post. We're going to put a DC tog in this next one. We're going to do a front post. We're going to put 2 double crochets right here. 1, 2. We're going to join with a slip stitch in the top of this beginning chain. Okay, we now have row 1 done, or round 1 done. And we're going to do a little cheat because nobody really likes back post DCs or anything like that. So we're going to do a nice little cheat. What we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and we're going to flip it to the wrong side. So we're going to look at your back side. Don't judge us. And now the same stitch that we just did our joining in is going to be that beginning chain, or the third chain, or the third DC, you could say. And we're going to put a front post single crochet around that. We're going to chain 2. Now we're going to put DC or front post DC around every single one of the next 16 stitches, I think it is. 15 stitches, 16 stitches. Just go to where I stop. It's all good. Nobody wants to count. Nobody wants to count. I will count though. 1, 2, 3, and don't forget this is a DC tog, so it's a little bit bigger. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, remember DC tog, so 12, 13, 14, 15, so the 16th one, if you're counting, which is going to be the middle double crochet or the third double crochet right here, what we're going to do is do a front post V-stitch. So around that one stitch, we're going to put double crochet, chain 2, and we're going to put a front post double crochet. Okay. Now we're going to put a front post around each of the next ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now we're going to have a stitch right here, which was one of the front post DCs, and now I guess it would be a back post, whatever. But it's around one of the stitches, one of the chains right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to identify this one, which is right here, and we're also going to identify this one right here. Both of those where we did our front post DC on the other side. So this one and this one. So what we're going to do, this, like I said, the corner, that's one of the hard parts. Remember that I told you there was 4? Well, this is it. So we're going to start our DC decrease by yarning over, putting it underneath that stitch right there, yarn over, pull up like we're starting a double crochet. Now we're going to skip all this stuff in the middle, and we're going to find that front post, act like we're doing a double crochet, which I did that totally wrong. Act like or go underneath it, yarn over, pull up through, act like we're doing a double crochet. Now we should have 3 on the hook. Okay? That means we're going to bypass that whole entire section. So now we're on the right side again, or the correct angle. So now we're going to put front post DCs around the next stitches till we get to the 3rd double crochet in the corner. I'll review in just a moment when I get to the corner stitch there. Since I worked over my tail there, I'm going to take my tail and kind of just put my finger on, because then I have a knot right there. I'm going to put my finger down, just kind of give it a little tug. Just a little one. It'll help hide that knot. And then later on, I'll be able to work my tails in. So let's review this corner and what we kind of did so far in these 3 sides here. So what we did here was after we chained 1, and then we flipped it to the wrong side. You can see his coat, his waist skirt's not on, or waist, coat, whatever, cloth is not on right here, and you can't see his crown. Well, you can kind of, it's right there. Okay, so this is the back side. So we chained 1, flipped it to the back side, and we put a front post DC around that middle stitch, or the beginning chain, whatever you'd like to do, whatever you'd like to call it. Okay, and then after we did our front post chain, our front post single crochet, because see, it kind of, you can see a little ridge there. By doing that front post single crochet, it helps keep that illusion going. Okay, so then we did front post DC, I believe 16 stitches, 15 stitches. And then around that middle one once again, and there's, we have, because we have the 5, we front post around 2 of them. And then the 3rd one, or the middle one, we did front post, chain 2, and a front post. So we basically made a front post V-stitch right in that 3rd one. We then put front post around each of the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches. We found our front post that we did around this stitch right here, and we started a front post decrease in it. And then we found the top of the front post stitch from this one, and we finished it off by putting the rest of our DC decrease on that one. We then front post stitched all the way over, and we are now on that middle one right there. So once again, in this middle one, we're going to do a front post V-stitch. So a front post, 1, 2, and then a front post. And then we're going to put front post around the next 16 stitches, I think it is. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, this one's a DC tog, so it's a little thicker. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, another DC tog, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so now we're going to do another one of the corners. So in the corner, we're doing the front post V-stitch. So our front post, chain 2, front post. We're going to work our front post stitches once again till we get to that corner. Almost there. Okay, we're going to identify the front post stitches. So here's one right here, and then here's another one right here. So you can see that, hopefully. I'll try to zoom in for you. So you have front post stitch, front post stitch. So we're going to work our DC decrease over these 2 stitches and ignoring all this. Start our DC decrease. Find the other section right there. Finish our decrease. And now we're aimed the correct way to keep doing our front post all the way to the end till we get to that middle stitch of those 5, that third stitch of the 5 stitches in the corner. It's a good little cheat for anytime you have to do a lot of back post stitches. Just flip it over. Make sure you read the pattern. Make sure it's just, if it's just straight back post stitches, just flip it, but make sure your count's correct. I do that on my postmortems and my till deaths. And it does help you go a little bit faster. And you can also keep a more even looking stitch that way. Does it change the front look of the stitch, of the pattern? Yes. But it also gives you a different texture. Because you have this look right here. You can see the back texture right there. It's still the same stitch count, but you have a little bit different look to it. So if you don't like that little bit of weird look, feel free to do back post stitches instead of front post stitches on these, and keep working from the front. Work smart, not harder, though. We're still making our front posts. working. Chuck wagon's working. Does anybody else have that like voice in their head? So their brain is like never quiet. You either have a song going, or you have like a dance routine going in the background, or you have a to-do list going. I know I have that. My husband doesn't have that. He's lucky. I don't know of many guys that can't just shut their brain off and go to sleep. So if any guys out there, if you know of any guys out there, tell me, because it just seems weird. Okay, we are all the way down, and I didn't do that third stitch. See, I still have the 3 stitches out of the 5 right there. So we did our front post all the way over. Once again, since I kind of worked over my tail, I'm going to put my finger right on it and pull. So that way it helps kind of lock that in a little bit more. So when I do tuck in my tails, it'll be a little easier for me. So now we're going to do that front post V-stitch. Once again, in that 3rd stitch there. Then we're going to work our front post across till we get to that 3rd corner stitch again. I hope you are enjoying this pattern. It's fun, it's challenging, yet kind of simple all in the same thing. It looks fantastic framed. I'll put it up framed in the corner there. Okay, now we've reached this corner, and we're going to do another one of those front post V-stitches. And now we're going to go all the way down again till we get to the inner corner. We're going to work till we get to that last front post right here, okay? I'm going to pull this one real quick. It just kind of helps tuck in that knot. Do it while you're thinking of it. Okay. So I'll meet you when we get down over here. Nope, I can't stay quiet that long. Oh my God, it's only been about an inch. So, what's your favorite brand of thread? I know across the world, across the country, even just across the states, we have different threads. So what is your favorite brand of thread or the thread that you're using on this project? I'm using Red Heart Classic, size 10. It's generally my go-to. I prefer the ecru color or the off-white natural because it seems to be the softest. The Black Red Heart size 10, that seems to be a little bit thinner than the off-white. And then the white version of it, the Red Heart size 10, seems to be stiff. Like they put a little bit of starch in it. So you really have to be careful with your stitches with it because you're crocheting with a little bit stiffer thread. So sometimes it makes bigger stitch openings. So you gotta kind of watch it. So my personal favorite is the Red Heart size 10 ecru natural. So I can say ecru, but I cannot say that dreaded Picard. Yeah, I can't say it. Okay, now that we made it to that corner, we have to find our front post right here and our other front post right here. Move out of the way, tail. And our other front post right here, okay? So we're going to start our DC decrease around that one and work a DC decrease around the other one and close it up. Now we're going to put front post over the next stitches till we get to that third one or that center stitch in the corners. And it's weird because I feel a little out of place doing this pattern, recording this pattern today, because I didn't do my opening. Because as I'm crocheting this, the day I'm crocheting this is the day that the episode was put out for Elsbeth. And so I didn't watch the episode yet. I do know that it's tonight, but since me and my husband go to bed so early, we're going to actually watch it tomorrow, which will be the 21st, October 21st. Or no, sorry, November 21st. Oh my goodness. So November 21st. And we'll watch it on demand. So the opening scene I actually taped the day after recording this. So I can't even say how it felt. We're doing the V-stitch in the corner. So I can't even tell you how I felt, my emotions or anything. We're working the front post around the corner and keep it going. So I don't know if I cried. I don't know if I squealed. I don't know if I had so much excitement it blew my mind. I don't know. I don't even know if I seen it on camera. It might not even show up. I just know that it's going to be on the wall in one of the church scenes. One or more of the church scenes. So if you're watching here and you're doing this with me and you know nothing of Elsbeth and my pattern being on CBS for one of the shows, then just, I don't know. But if you did see it, tell me in the comments if you've seen it and if you spotted my picture. And if you did spot my picture, go on to my Facebook page and post a picture of you seeing it on TV. So, because, I mean, to me, this is like the coolest thing ever. Okay, we're at that corner again. Let's do another front post V-stitch. I mean, I've had my artwork all over the world. I've sold patterns all over the world. I've been mentioned on HGTV. I've had my drawings tattooed on people. I've had some of my work in a museum for kids. Certain famous creepy person. Their friend owns one of my books, one of my handcrafted books. Some famous people, they own some of my postpartum doilies. But this. Oh, and my daughter was even in a commercial that they helped produce. Or no, one of their producer friends asked them to be in a commercial. So it's a tie between my daughter being in a commercial with Carmen Electra or this. It's a tie. It's a tie. I can't choose which one is more cooler, but this ranks right up there. So now we're in that pesky inner corner again. So we're going to find that stitch, start our decrease, And we're gonna find the next one, do the other side of our decrease. Okay. Now we're going to front post around the next ones till we get to the corner again. So fill my chats down there, fill my messages down there. Tell me what was your most exciting thing that you've had done, or for you or a family member, because it's just really cool. So, and I'm over the moon at it. Okay, now back to this. So we're now at the joining where we did our first piece right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a stitch, front post stitch right around the base of that where we started our round. Okay. And now we're going to chain 2. And we're going to join at the top of those stitches right there. Because remember when we chain 2, we did our front post, single crochet, and then we chain 2. We're going to join right in to that right there. Okay. We're going to set that down a minute because I'm going to change my page. Okay, so now we're going to work round 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it to the right side. So now we're going to be facing him again. Remember, this is the back side. So now we're going to flip it over, and this is the right side. And while we did the front post on the reverse side, it's just to give us this little bit of detail right here. And also by doing that, it helps square the piece off. And you can see it's not that bad. The cross is a little wonky here, but it's not really that bad. See if I can move my camera just a little bit. So if you didn't block it at the end of the 3rd round, yes, we only got one more row to go, or one more round to go. If you didn't block it, it wouldn't be the worst thing, okay? But I am going to show you how to block it and make it nice and easy for you, okay? So now that we're facing him again, and we have it all set and ready to go, we're going to, come on, baby. We're going to chain 1. You can also chain 1 and then flip it back if you need to. And we're going to put 3 single crochets in here. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm using a back post single crochet. I know. We just flipped it because we didn't like doing the back post. I'm sorry. Can't always win. But we did cheat on that round, so it did go faster. And it helped doing the inner corners. So for this, we're going to be working single crochet, back post single crochets. If you find that there's 2 outs to this, if you find that you cannot do the back post single crochet, but you still want that little bit of a fancy ridge to it, work a back post half double crochet. It won't change anything, but the look of it ever so slightly, and might be a little bit easier for you. And if you can't do any of the back post stitches, just work them as single stitches. Okay? Because you're still going to be skipping the same things, working the edges the same, or the outer points the same way. So you have 2 outs. So I'm going to follow my pattern, and I'm going to work the back post single crochet. You can choose to work a regular single crochet in each one of the stitches, or you can choose to work a back post half double crochet. Okay? It's up to you. We're still going to have the same journey on this last round here. So we did our 3, and then I'm going to do a front post single crochet, a back post single crochet, all the way down over the next 9 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 7, 8, and 9. Now we're going to totally just skip that stitch and work right here. You see the stitch right here? We're just going to go right there and single crochet, or back post single crochet, and back post single crochet. We're just going to keep going. That's all we're doing. We're just going to do that till we get to the corner there. And that's where we're going to change the pattern. We're going to deviate from the back post single crochet here. Okay, last back post single crochet. Now I'm going to put 3 single crochets in this little chain space right here. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to work in around this stitch right here and the next 3 stitches. So I'm going to work 4 back post DC around these 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm then going to count 4 stitches in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to work you can see I'm lined up right here. This is my center. I'm going to put 6 triple crochets, 2 chain 2, and I'm going to make pickets. It's tighter picket. Okay, so I'm going to skip these 4 stitches here, and working in this 5th stitch, which lines up. I'm going to yarn over and do my triple. I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to put a front post single crochet around my triple here. I'm going to triple again in that same spot. Chain 2, single crochet around that triple, triple crochet in the same, chain 2, triple, or chain 2 and single crochet, triple, and then you do your little picket there, triple, chain 2, single crochet around it, triple, chain 2, and then single crochet around it. You should have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you should have 6 little bumps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to skip 4 stitches. It's going to be easier to count from the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put your first back post DC around there. And then back post DC around the next 3. I will review this in just a moment. If my hook stays in. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to put 3 single crochets in this chain space. Okay, let's do a quick review. See, doesn't that look so cute? And if you did a single crochet in here, you're not going to have this second ridge. If you chose to do a half double crochet, you're still going to have the ridge, but you're going to stick out a little bit more, okay? So let's go through this edge right here. We did 3 singles in the chain space here, we did a chain 2, and then we back post DC around 4 stitches. We're going to be skipping 4 stitches right here, and in that middle one that lines up, we're going to be putting 6 triples, and around each one of the triples, we're going to chain 2, single crochet, triple, chain 2, single crochet, triple, chain 2, single crochet, triple, chain 2, single crochet around it, triple, chain 2, single crochet around it, triple, chain 2, single crochet around it. And we're going to skip 4 stitches, and we're going to back post DC around 4. We're going to do a chain 2, and we're going to put 3 singles right in here. We're also going to back post single crochet if that's what you're doing, or half double crochet if that's what you're doing right here. And this is going to be another 9 stitches, I believe, or just go to the end and then skip it, okay? I'll meet you in the corner. Nobody wants to count. Nobody wants to count. Okay. First back post is always the hardest. So we're just going to work our way down to the inner corner. Okay, now we're at that last inner corner there. And we're just going to skip the inner and match up with our front post and just single crochet or back post single crochet around it. That's all we're doing. Okay, and so we're just gonna do our stitches all the way down till we get to the chain 3 spot right here. I will see you over there. Okay, I'm almost at the corner. We're going to do the same thing as on this end that we did over here. So we're going to put our 3 single crochets in the chain space, chain 2, and then working our back post DC over the next 4 stitches. Now we're going to find the middle one, so skipping 4 stitches, find that middle one right there, one that lines up. And once again, we're going to be doing our triple crochets, chain 2, and single crochet. We're doing a triple again, chain 2, single crochet. We're going to do that 4 more times. triple, chain 2, single, triple, chain 2, single, triple, chain 2, single. I think we have one more, yep. So we need 6 triples in there, chain 2. Now we're going to skip 4. I'm going to count 4 in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's up to you. Do those back post DCs. We're going to chain 2, working 3 singles in the next chain space. Now we're going to do the same thing as we did over here. We're going to do it right over that way. So I will meet you in the corner. Okay, we are now in that inner corner right there. So that last stitch, and do our last one. We're going to skip all this and go to the next available stitch and just skip it, moving on. You basically just want to skip a stitch in the inner corners. So if you mess up a little bit, as long as you're going the correct way, it doesn't matter. It should be all good. So, okay, we're going to keep going till we get to the corner. We have another one of our fancy edges. In part 1, where I said you could either not do the waistcoat or bump out the head or the crown, I gave alternates for that. Or if you changed it up, added color to it or beads to it, oh, please hit me up on Facebook, message me, or post it in the link that I have for this. I would love to see your take on my pattern. Patterns are to me, like a coloring book. I give you the blank coloring book, and you're the one that's filling it in, coloring it in, and creating your own piece. I just give you the blueprints, and you are the ones that are actually making it. So we're back at the corner again. We're going to do our 3 singles in there, our chain 2, and put our back post DC around the 4. That's 3. Cut one more. Okay, now we're going to count 4 in, 1, 2, 3, 4, or find that center stitch right there. We're going to do our 6 triples with the little bumpity bumps on it. Almost done. So I'm really excited to see if I can spot this on TV. I hope that it's a little bit more than a blur in a frame. I hope that it actually stands out and people can see it, because it is a wonderful pattern, and I am greatly honored that they liked the pattern so much to buy it from me. It's the one that they ordered a pattern, or they ordered a finished piece like this, and they took it and they framed it and put it on the wall of their set or wherever they were filming. And they chose my thing to use there. So it is a great, great honor. And it brings me great joy that my work, no matter what form it is, either a religious piece like this or painted dinosaur fossils in a children's museum so that way they could touch them and explore, or somebody owning one of my books, my handcrafted books, or one of my other art pieces, or one of my drawings that is permanently on somebody. It's just really cool. And I never thought that when I was starting my art career, because I always loved to dabble in art and stuff like that, I never thought I would be doing this kind of stuff. Growing up, we didn't have YouTube. Definitely didn't have cell phones. So in that retrospect, I wouldn't have thought I could do this or be what I am now. And it's amazing how much stuff I have accomplished in my life. The good, the bad, the ugly. And yeah, it's truly amazing how little things like just a smile from a stranger, or you opening up a door or you open a door for somebody. How that little moment, that little smile, that little thank you, paying it forward with buying the person in back of you's cup of coffee, or helping out somebody that needs a couple extra bucks, Just doing those things can brighten your day and make you feel good. You don't have to have any kind of success other than helping somebody. And I think that's I'm going to try to say this without crying. I think that's one of the things that when I grew up as the non-practicing Catholic, my grandma was practicing. And so she always gave to the church. She always gave to somebody in need. And growing up, we didn't have much. So I would hear stories from my mom saying that she would be Christmas shopping with my grandma, and my grandmother would be ahead of her. And so all of a sudden she's coming around the corner following her, and she would find money laying on the ground because my grandmother would drop it for her. But my grandmother also did that for other people, not just my mom. So that way it wasn't a handout, they were finding it, which is really cool. I've also literally seen my dad give the shirt off his back to somebody who needed a shirt. And it's those things that hold more dear to me than having these kind of viral moments for a pattern, or having my artwork put on TV or mentioned or around the world or in museums. It's the parts that make me the happiest, knowing I was part of a bigger picture. I was just a little tiny cog to make somebody else smile, to bring somebody else joy. Because my name might not be remembered, but somebody's going to look at one of my pieces and they're going to be all like, oh, this is beautiful. I don't know who she is, but I like it. And gives a good smile. And knowing that I have that little bit that's going to make somebody else smile in the future, that is what truly brings me joy. Nothing else. I don't need much else in life. I never had much, so I never wanted much. But I do hope that this pattern, as well as my other patterns, and maybe if you look through my Instagram page or my Facebook page, and I can get a smile out of you. I can make you laugh. Maybe joy tears. Maybe happy tears are always good. Then I succeeded in life. And that's the best thing. Because money gets spent, money fades, names fade and blur into oblivion. But artistry will always be there. And no matter what form, it'll always be there to bring people joy. And with that, I'm all done. I'm going to go tuck in my tails. And if you want to watch me block this, go down in the description below and pick up that link, and we will block this together. Otherwise, you have a most fantastic, wonderful day. Give people a smile, because smiles are contagious. Pay it forward, and just keep creating. No matter what form, just keep going. Okay? You have a wonderful day.